What's going on, Arizona sports fan family? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Today, what I want to talk about is the primetime game, Thursday night football, Arizona Cardinals versus the New Orleans Saints, the aftermath. What did we learn about our Arizona Cardinals? Let's dive right into it. Roll that intro. All right, everybody, welcome back into another video here of the Aftermath. Let's talk some Arizona Cardinals versus the New Orleans Saints. Probably one of the best Thursday night football games of the 2022 season. Before we get started, definitely do me one huge favor. Smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. We are on the road to 10K, ladies and gentlemen. And last time I looked, we were less than 100 subscribers away. So if you're peeping on and you clicked on this video and you like what you heard, definitely go ahead and subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free on the road to 10K. Everybody, let's dive right into it here. Let's talk about the aftermath of what we saw in Thursday night football for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Arizona Cardinals came up with an absolute huge win, a win that we absolutely needed, right? Now we're going 3-4 in the season, and we're right back in the division. If you take a look at the NFC West just as an entirety, Week 7, they don't have some favorable matchups to any of our other, NFC West, rivals in there. So the Seahawks are playing the Chargers. I don't think they're going to beat them. I really don't. And then we got the San Francisco 49ers playing the Chiefs. I think that's an L right there on its own. Now, the Rams do have a bye week, but on week 8, they do play the San Francisco 49ers, who they don't have very much luck against. So, I still do think that this division is pretty much open up, at least as of right now. Now, if we're seeing complimentary football like we've seen in this game, this is probably the best game that I've seen the Arizona Cardinals look the entirety of the year. Now, yes, we did beat the Panthers, but this game right here was the one that we absolutely needed. Now, I do also want to make sure that we note the fact that the New Orleans Saints had no business on being on the same field with the Arizona Cardinals. They absolutely didn't. They were hurt every which way. Both of their top wide receivers were gone. Marshawn Lattimore didn't play. So the Arizona Cardinals took care of business, and that's exactly what they should have done, right? We need to be that team that sees a team that doesn't have their best weapons and take advantage of that. And that's exactly what the Arizona Cardinals did this time around. Now, I definitely want to give some kudos here to Deandre Hopkins. This was his first game back, and my goodness, boy, did he show up. Now, let me go ahead and say one thing here real quick. I could have possibly been wrong about Deandre Hopkins being our entirety of our offense. Now, I don't like that he is the entirety of our offense, but I mean, if this is the way that our offense is going to kind of thrive against, all I can say is please, DeAndre Hopkins, stay healthy, because I can't imagine an offense without DeAndre Hopkins. Now, when I was mentioning the whole fact of, I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a huge impact on the offense, it wasn't knocked towards DeAndre Hopkins. It was a knock towards Cliff Kingsbury, but I should have known, right? One of the best wide receivers of our time comes back, and it seems to obviously be the favorite target of Kyler Murray. Easily targeted, DeAndre Hopkins 10 plus times, but he ended up, getting the ball 10 times, getting 103 yards receiving, no touchdowns, but man, this guy was absolutely productive. He was also getting some PI penalties as well, so everything pretty much worked out here for the Arizona Cardinals very, very well. Now, our defense, every time I talk about them every single week, I always say top 20, top 15, but man, can we give definitely some fire emojis in the comments below or something, because this defense has absolutely showed up. Now, granted, yes, we did play Andy Dalton, and we have played Andy Dalton the last 4 years with different teams, and we have beaten Andy Dalton all 4 times. But we gotta, obviously celebrate the wins, right? And Marco Wilson, he's been a guy that, a lot of people been bagging on, right? And I do believe that Marco Wilson did have a very good game this time around, and I just hope it continues. I hope it really, really does continue. Now, Isaiah Simmons, on the other hand, also had a pick 6, and that's just a huge win on its own, right? Give some boost to this young, talented player that at one point didn't seem to have a specific role, but now that we're putting him on the field, now that we're allowing him to learn, this is exactly the Isaiah Simmons that we wanted to see. Definitely a big shout out to Zaven Collins as well, man. He's had a huge year, especially these last 2 or 3 games for the Arizona Cardinals. Absolutely dynamite. Byron Murphy's just doing his thing over there. Buda Baker's just doing his thing over there. Antonio Hamilton got an interception as well. So we were gelling very, very well on the defensive side of the ball. Now, it took a little bit to kind of get to that level. The Arizona Cardinals did score 3 points in the first quarter as well, so that's kind of a win on its own. Scoring points early is really good, but the defense, I really do feel like, was the one who sparked the momentum in the way of the Arizona Cardinals, because at one point it was a 14-14 game. And if it wasn't for those interceptions, I feel like just momentum's completely swung. Now, the Arizona Cardinals did continue to put points, right, on the offensive side of the ball, which is an absolute win on its own right there. But man, what a huge momentum swing for that defense to come through. Vance Joseph, coming into this year, everybody was talking about this is his last year for the Arizona Cardinals. He's going to get fired. My goodness, he has completely turned around this defense and has probably been one of our best coaches on this Arizona Cardinals organization so far. So I really do believe he's going to be looking for a head coach position going into next year. So definitely good luck to him. I don't know what this head coach position is going to look like for the Arizona Cardinals. At least as of right now, it still remains to be seen. There's still a lot of games left for the Arizona Cardinals to play, so it can definitely shake out any which way at this moment. But definitely Vance Joseph has been doing a fantastic job over there. Now, Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury did get into a little spat where obviously the national media made sure that they were very, very paid attention to this whole situation, because we know, right, especially coming off of 2021 season when we had 11 wins, and now we're starting the season off, or at least before this game, 2-4. There's going to be a lot of eyes on Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, and because Cliff has not been the guy to give us those wins, somebody's going to have to be the one to answer it, and it's going to be Cliff, right? That's going to be the situation. So, of course, there was a lot of storylines coming to this game, a must-win situation for the Arizona Cardinals, and thankfully, we did pull off the win. Now, doing a little bit of research or a little bit of, listening into the press conferences, it obviously was very heated between Kyler and Cliff. This isn't the first time that they have kind of yelled back and forth more than anything. Obviously, in prime time, it's put more on top of a higher level, but it's kind of one of those situations again where they just kind of didn't agree with each other. Kyler Murray did take the fault, but he did smirk, so I'm not 100% sure like if I really do believe him, but basically had to do with kind of calling a play, making audible, stuff like that. Cliff was saying, hey, let's hurry it up, stuff like that. So they ended up having to use a timeout. So I wouldn't really look too much into it. I still do believe that they're probably not the best of friends. Now, do they not like each other? I know I went on a few streams and said I don't think they like each other. I still really don't think that they do 100% like each other. I think they're very cordial with each other. I think they're very, civil with each other. But when, tempers fly, they just kind of get at each other, like they bicker back and forth. So I'm not sure their personalities 100% mesh, especially when adversity hits. But regardless, right? I mean, we still won, and I think that's an absolute huge win for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward. Now, this is a huge win, right? I'm not going to put anything past the Saints win, but I think the real test here, the absolute real test for the Arizona Cardinals is going to be against the Vikings, which we're going to be playing next week. That's going to be a 10 a.m. kickoff, at least here in AZ time. We're going to be flying over there, so that's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to shake out for the Arizona Cardinals, because that team over there, the Vikings, have a very, very, very good roster, great running back, great wide receivers. Now, their defense, on the other hand, I haven't really paid attention too much to them that much, but I always do feel like the defense over there always kind of gave us a little issues, so I'm going to kind of hold my excitement to the top level until we can beat a team like the Vikings. Now, if we beat the team like the Vikings, then I'm going to go ahead and jump on a soapbox, beat my chest, and say things like, we got it, guys, we got this. This is an NFC West, here we come, that type of stuff. But I'm definitely excited and curious to figure out how that's going to go ahead and shake out and look like. One big other shout out I want to give to Eno Benjamin. Man, Eno Benjamin stepped up, man. And we've been talking about him all offseason. I put a video out about him, and he definitely stepped up in this game. Now, granted, he had an opportunity last week as well. He didn't do so hot, but I do blame that more on our offense not being able to sustain drives. But Eno Benjamin had a really good game this game. 12 carries, 92 yards, 1 touchdown. Keontae Ingram got involved, 9 carries, 14 yards, 1 touchdown. And then everything else just kind of, fell into place perfectly like a puzzle for the Arizona Cardinals. Everybody, let me know what you guys think about the Arizona Cardinals after week 7, the aftermath, Cardinals versus Saints. Put everything in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.